Breaking news, hot off the presses, the Miami Dolphins have a #1 wide receiver, and it's Chad Ochocinco. Okay, well, maybe that's not the headline that it would have been 7 or 8 years ago, but the Dolphins did ink Ochocino to a 1-year, $925,000 deal, so it got us inspired to run the No Huddle here at Pro Football Weekly. We asked our editors, if you were Jeff Ireland, GM of the Miami Dolphins, would you have signed Chad Ochocinco?
Absolutely not.
It depends how desperate I was.
I don't think I would.
I think there are other more attractive options out there in the free agent market.
He's never been a disciplined route runner, and he's a distraction in the locker room. I think he's proven that he's not going to bring much to your team.
And I'm not entirely convinced he's a starter type guy anymore.
I feel like Bill Belichick almost neutered him a little bit.
Ochocinco didn't really look like Ochocino last year in New England.
He seemed to lose a little bit of the Chad.
He certainly doesn't have what he did in his peak.
I don't think he has it. He has something.
If they're getting the guy who can be that big playmaker on the outside, it's definitely something the Dolphins can use.
I think the Dolphins are a good fit for him. He's very familiar with the Miami area. That's a team that really could use some help from a veteran receiver.
It makes sense for them because they need to strengthen that receiving core.
He might be a real good guy to take some young receivers or just young players under his wing.
Most teammates really like him. I've talked to his position coaches before. They say, look, Chad's not a bad guy. He just gets a little distracted sometimes.
He's loose, he's energetic, he brings an infectious spirit, a little bit of fun.
And look what he did in New England last year. Yeah, he didn't get it done on the field at all. He was a complete non-factor, but I think a lot of GMs might worry about that locker room thing, and it wasn't a problem in New England.
And I don't even think talent was his biggest problem last year. I think it was learning that offense.
We don't know how much of it was he just couldn't grasp the playbook or his skills were starting to diminish.
He didn't pick up on the offense. It didn't click for him last year. And he's going to have a similar issue in Miami now, having to learn a new playbook.
The Dolphins run a very precise passing game. That's what Joe Philbin is bringing from Green Bay. That's not Chad's strength.
I have my doubts about what he can still bring to the table.
Hey, it certainly will probably help the Hard Knocks ratings.
The Dolphins are struggling at wide receiver. They could use all the help they can get, and maybe Ochocino will help and maybe he won't, but he's not going to make or break their season. We probably shouldn't even be talking about him right now, but we only are because he's Chad Ochocinco. Be sure to let us know what you think if you would have signed him to a contract like Jeff Ireland did. And as always, for more No Huddle, keep checking back to ProFootballWeekly.com.